Well, we've got the drivers into the carts now, Brad, and we'll have a look at this. I was looking down there, and I'm thinking from that lot, Regis Ghostland, he turns up without any sort of testing at all here on this track, doesn't know the place. Really, it has to be said, and this is saying something, this is a Matthias Grooten kind of performance.
Yeah, he didn't quite turn up and win the first race, but obviously still a stellar performance. Yeah, it's better than you'd expect from anyone who's never seen the track before. So he's definitely a good shout for the win. You've obviously got Sander Debates as well. Sam Spinell up there as well. Who else have we got in this one?
Kassam, possibly.
Kassam. We've also got... who else in there? Oh, Slavek. Slavek's always front runner here as well. Don't discount him.
Absolutely, and I think we're looking for a first win from Slavek Piskor's in the BRKC. I think that's going to come. It's not going to come in this race. There's no way Ghostland, Debates and Sam Spinell are going to let him pull a stunt like that. Not because Slavek is bad, simply because they are World Championship material. They are too good for that kind of thing. And so it's not going to happen here. But at some point in one of these events, Slavek is going to win a heat race and quite possibly throw himself into a final one day.
Yeah, and it's telling that when you're talking about a guy like Slavek, who's not someone you'd look forward to going up against in an ordinary rental kart race, you wouldn't bet 100% you're definitely going to beat that guy no matter who you are. And we're talking him straight out of this race before we've even started.
Yeah, that says it all. That we're talking him out of it before it begins. It looks like they're getting ready to pull out onto the track. Who do you reckon that we're really looking at as a likely pole sitter? Who's your money on for the pole on this one?
If I was a betting man, I would go for Regis Ghostland.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet. People who... Yeah.
Oh, I did see Sander Debates is in the 9 kart, which has been doing extremely well today. So actually, I'm going to put 50% on Regis and Sander.
Sorry to knock you a bit sideways, Brad. That 9 kart's often done quite well because of the guy behind the wheel. It's had Lee Hackett in it and people like this. And the situation with the 9, it's just as equal as all the others theoretically. Just look at the names who've been sat there. Have you had it, Brad?
I have, and I very nearly won with it. It wasn't the pace of the kart that was the problem in that race.
Okay, well, I'm sure Lee Hackett will take heart from that then, because he was well up the road when he was in it. But then it was Lee Hackett driving. So anyway, joining the course, we've got the first qualifiers. We've got Sander Debates, who we've just been talking about, but yes, he's in the number 9. As we said, he's actually second out to qualify. Kezia Lay's leading the way, and we'll see what happens there. We're just going to wind them round on that, and looking as they're coming out, well, we've got most of the big names are taken to the track already, but it's Slavek Piskor's who's heading out last to begin his qualifying.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so the penalty, just to confirm, the penalties in that last race, it was checked very thoroughly, and Colin both received 1 lap penalties.
Brad, we're just going to have a little mention as the qualifying starting about the penalties in the last race. The last race we saw an unusual incident where Colin Brown and Anwar Burrell-Smith were so heavily locked in combat that they appeared to miss the call for the last opportunities to stop. Colin Brown stopped at least while the race was on. Anwar Burrell-Smith was actually in the pits when the race winner came across and won. What's the situation there, Brad?
Yeah, it appeared that they were going to be penalised, and after a very long review of the CCTV footage and looking at when the last chance to pit boards came out and having a good look through the rulebook, turns out they are both penalised by 1 lap, which doesn't really affect Colin's event, but may well put Anwar out of the semi-finals. So they were concentrating so much on fighting each other, they missed that crucial board, and they're going to receive a penalty because of it.
Well, Anwar particularly is not to be happy with that. Let's look at these times coming in. We've got Sam Spinell, who's faster from the Debates, and Ghostland. So Ghostland, our predicted top man, has been pipped by Sam Spinell. Slavek Piskor's is still to come through. Let's see what time he sets. He puts himself... where's Slavek? Slavek Piskor's on the pole position. Well, the Speedway man, I mean, he's used to races that are lasting about a minute, so he's used to turning on straight away. But Slavek Piskor's immediately onto the pole, and not only on the pole, but that's ahead of Spinell, Debate and Ghostland. That is really something from the Polish, it has to be said, newcomer to karting.
Well, I think we need to eat our words a bit. The kart Start 9 didn't go up to the front. Regis Gosselin wasn't at the front. The man we were talking out of it is on pole position. So fair play, Slavek.
Absolutely. We're going to have a queue of people coming up here to try and get us talking them out of the event as well. Because there's Slavek. I mean, I think he's as surprised as anyone, to be fair. That was an outstanding lap from Piscors. He only took it by 0.04 of a second. And Debate, I mean, you would be really upset with this. You're third, but you're only 0.09 off pole. I mean, heck, you can't count 0.09, can you?
And we've seen that quite a few times in this contest. There have been several races where the top three have been separated by half a tenth or so, and it's happened again.
Absolutely, and this time it's Slavek Piscors. Constantly we're getting new things occurring here. Slavek Piscors, well, Brad, he's going to be defending like a good one, and clearly he's got the speed. This could be his race.
So if qualifying's anything to go by, the top four are quite clear in terms of pace from the rest of the field. So expect the top four to make a little bit of a break, and that should be where the action is in this one.
Okay then, Brad, well, we're coming around the start. It's Slavek Piscors. Look at this on the pole position, but look at what's behind him. He's got Sam Spinelli, he's got Sandy Debates. Slavek Piscors hits the gas, and he's crossing the line to start the race. It's Piscors looking good, but Debates and is making a move on second, but couldn't make it stick on Sam Spinell. Regis Gosselin has lost a bit of ground to Debates, probably having to back off as Debates locked up the brakes, trying to get second place there. But Slavek Piscors leads the run out onto the backstretch. Here he comes in the yellow helmet, and well, he's looking pretty convincing, isn't he? This is a great show from the Polish ex-speedway rider, Brad.
It's looking very good at the moment, although we've got a lot of laps to go. So let's see, is this going to develop as a race on circuit, or is this going to be a strategic battle? Are any of the top four going to think they can gain some ground by pitting early, maybe running in clear air? Interested to see what Sander Debates does once he gets fully up to speed.
Well, it's a fantastic run by Slavek Piscors. We're going to see what he does in the pits. We've got a bit of a known quantity in those behind him, with Sam Spinell and especially Sander Debates and Regis Gosselin. They are pretty much known quantity when it comes to the pit stops, but Slavek Piscors is certainly showing he's got what it takes to lead and, if possible, win one of these races. He's really looking good out there, and it's just going to come down to a question of the pit stops. We haven't really paid too much attention to his pit stops. He's never been running right this far up at the front, and we're going to have to now, Brad. This is going to be very exciting indeed. He's looking good out there, isn't he?
So just to put you in the mindset of these top four drivers now, they are just starting to break away. They'll all just be observing the race, just starting to think about what their strategy is going to be, because until they know how the race unfolds, they can't nail their colours to the mast. So Gosselin at the back there will be just wondering whether he's fast enough to overtake these guys, whether maybe he can jump them by just getting into completely clear air. Sam Spinell will be looking at a lunge anytime soon. Sander Debates makes the early pit stop, so let's see how good the stop is.
Well, Sander Debates coming in really early. He's clearly banking on the idea that he's not seen Piscors at the front, so maybe he's hoping that Piscors isn't as fast as he appears, and he'll hold some of the others up. It's certainly going to be interesting what happens. And we got a problem in the pit. It looks like a stopped engine there, and that's Lee Green. Lee Green struggled to get it going. Well, we did see yesterday an engine cut out. I think it was on Stefan Verhoster, and he restarted it on the track and came through second place. And
actually, interesting, that's actually the same kart there, so kart number 21. So don't want to be stationary for too long by the looks of it in that one. That's going to definitely affect his race. So meanwhile, the race is down to Sander Debates. Can he clear the traffic? Because he's going to have to pass these guys for position to make up ground on the leading trio. And can Sam Spinell make a move on Slavek Piscors, who's actually made a small breakaway at the front?
Yeah, Slavek Piscors looking fantastic down the backstretch there. He's got Sam Spinell. Sam Spinell signalling to Regis Gosselin. Maybe he's trying to get Gosselin to work with him on this deal. And yes, he's already waving to Gosselin. I think Spinell's coming in the pits. Yes, Spinell has got a similar idea to Sander Debates. I think he feels probably more, not because of anything he's seeing in front of him, but he's just not seen Slavek Piscors on track so far this weekend. And he's an unknown quantity. So, Sander Debates, he's making it stick around the outside. But down the inside it's Spinell. They're still side by side. And Sander Debates has got the position from Sam Spinell. So, Spinell is pitted there, and it's cost him a place already.
Now, interestingly, normally the second kart in a group to pit is the one which would benefit with the track position. Sander Debates was able to just hang on round the outside of the hairpin at turn 2, and it actually made it stick. So his strategy right now is working. Next up, he needs to pass Keziale.
Right, and obviously Keziale hasn't pitted. She qualified at the back there, so that's a battle for position. Keziale does need to pit, but not necessarily anytime soon, because these two others have pitted really early, and they're losing time behind Keziale. They're fighting with her and not making a particularly good job of passing. So this is costing, is playing into the hands of Regis Ghostland, and especially the hands of Slavek Piskorz.
And this is always the danger of an early pit stop. If you're one of the front runners and you know you've got the pace, you're bound to catch up with some of the guys at the back of the field who haven't yet pitted. That's exactly what's happened. Kezi has got every right to defend. This is for position, although maybe the sensible money would be on letting these guys through and trying to keep up with them. But right now, she's held the position. Sandra's got to make this move soon, otherwise the two front runners, Slavek and Regis, are going to just drive away.
Absolutely, and there's no reason why Keziale should move out of the way. Yes, she's running at the tail of the field, but this is a battle for position. Now, this is really interesting, Brad, because and she's holding him off, and Sandra Bates moves through, so does Sam Spinell, but no, Keziale takes the position back from Sam Spinell. She's making a real race of it down there, and this is quite amusing on the basis that clearly underestimating Slavek Piskorz, because he's holding his consistent lead ahead of Regis Ghostland. The only reason that Sam Spinell and Sandra Bates would have possibly pitted was because they underestimated Slavek Piskorz. Yep. Having overestimated themselves and underestimated Slavek Piskorz, they pitted to get away from him, found themselves behind Keziale, lost even more time behind her than they ever would have with Slavek Piskorz, and shot themselves in the foot. This is playing right in the hands of Piskorz, and of course the following Regis Ghostland. But Ghostland, we know he is world championship speed for Ghostland, and that is not enough to reel in Slavek Piskorz. Look at the Polish driver go. This is an outstanding performance, and I think he's got the measure of Debates and Spinell. I think they've pitted too early. I think they've blown it already, Brad.
So right now the big loser is going to be Sam Spinell, because he's already over 15 seconds behind that lead, and he was in second position early on. So having been jumped by Sandra Debates with that pit stop, it really is a race for Slavek and Regis at the front, unless that pair that made the early stops can now get their heads down and gain 5 seconds to get back in that pit window.
Absolutely. The interesting thing is that Slavek Piskorz and Regis Ghostland, they're running practically the same time, and they are among the quickest on the track. In fact, I think they are the two fastest. They are running at the front. Sandra Debates and Sam Spinell, well, they've actually just gone ever so slightly quicker, well, in Debates' case, but certainly they would have pitted that early because they did not trust the speed in the whole race distance of Slavek Piskorz. That turns out to have been a mistake, Brad Philpott. Slavek Piskorz is rapid, he's out there on merit, and he's actually pulling away a little bit from Regis Ghostland.
So interestingly, the lap times in this race are a little bit slower than we've seen so far. Obviously the driving talent's no less, so maybe that fueling stop that we had a short while ago, a little bit of extra weight in the cart, that's just slowing them down a bit, or maybe there's a bit of extra pace to be unlocked later in the race, so it's not all over yet. Absolutely
not, Brad. I should imagine there's two major factors in that, and the fact is the track will be a little bit colder. Nothing's been running on it while they were stopped for the fuel, and also the fact they've got fuel. So the carts will be that fractional slower. But that's not something that Slavek Piskorz is believing in, because he's actually going faster, and he really is turning on the speed. And he's got Ghostland trying his best. We know Ghostland's world championship level driver, but that's not enough to reel in and pass Slavek Piskorz at the moment.
Having said that, though, Regis has just set his fastest lap of the race, and on that last lap was 2/10 quicker than Slavek. So if he can stick with that kind of pace, which is getting down to the kind of times we've seen earlier in the day, and maybe Slavek loses a bit of consistency, Regis has still got a chance here. At the moment, though, I think it's these two guys that we're looking at for first and second.
Absolutely. I think Sandra Debates and Sam Spinell may have come into and it gone wrong for them. The 8 cart, I think that's Lee Henderson, isn't it? Yeah, Lee Henderson's pulling out a 4th place there, so a pretty respectable run there by Lee Henderson. He's the champion from Ello Park in the heavyweight division. He obviously loses a couple of positions. He rejoins in 7th place behind Sam Spinell. Robin Kassam is one to watch. He's in 3rd place, and we've got Robin Watts up in 4th ahead of Sandra Debates, and that's going to be interesting because Robin Watts isn't a driver we've spoken too much about yet, and he's in the 20 cart. He's got Sandra Debates trying to reel him in, and let's have a look back and see where they exactly are. Yes, it is Watts who's pitting out of 4th place. There he is in the pits. Black helmet with the white suit, and it's not looking like a bad stop for Watts. He does come out behind Lee Henderson, though, so that puts Robin Watts back to 7th place. Robin Kassam, he's quite stealthily running quite quick. He's the slower of the front runners, but he is in third place. And into the pits, it's
Kezia.
no, it's Regis
Ghoslan.
Regis Ghoslan. Regis Ghoslan out of second place is into the pits. It's looking good as a pit stop.
Good, really good.
Well, why would he pit that early, Brad?
All I can think is that if he gets up behind Slavek knows what kind of pace he's doing, and he can respond. Potentially, he can push harder. Maybe Regis has found himself some clear air. He's only got Robin Kassam, who's quite a long way in front of him. He's not going to catch him very quickly. He can now get his head down, maybe pump in some extremely quick laps with no one in the way. Maybe, hopefully, lull Slavek into a false sense of security. Slavek hasn't responded, interestingly, so he's not gone for the immediate track position covering pit stop. Maybe Regis just wants to slip under the radar and come out in front of him after Slavek stops. It's going to have to be very, very fast, though, to do that.
Absolutely. Clearly, Regis has got something in mind, but quite what it is, I'm not sure, because he was running in clear air. He wasn't really close to Slavek Piskor's in real terms. Yes, he was reeling him in by a couple of tenths, but there were a few, 2 or 3 seconds in it as it was. So an interesting thing there. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe there's something else that he's noticed that we haven't, such as where he would have cycled out in terms of back markers that he could see from the trackside that we just weren't picking up on. Clearly, Regis Laconi is not someone we're going to expect to make any kind of strategic mistake, so there's obviously something quite intelligent in that. He is running ahead of Sander Debates. Sander Debates crossing the line now. He's got about a 4-second lead, is it, or 3 or 4? About a 3-second lead on Debates. They're running respectively third and fourth. That puts Robin Kassam in second, but he's 7 seconds behind the flying Slavek Piskors. Piskors is coming in the pits. This is the race leader. Now, this is the important one. Slavek Piskors, can he maintain his lead? There's no way he's going to come out ahead of Robin Kassam, but Robin Kassam has not yet pitted. There's Kassam, black suit, black helmet coming through.
Very good.
There's Regis Ghoslan. Piskors comes out in the lead. A fantastic pit stop by the Polish driver.
Yep, no mistakes there from Slavek. He's cool, calm and collected. He's done exactly what he needs to do. And now it's going to be down to how well he negotiates the traffic, how quickly he can get by them without allowing Regis to catch him up. But he has the pace to stay at the front now. This should be his win.
Now, Brad, we've still got a lot of race to go, 9 minutes. But I would like to throw things forward here and say Slavek Piskors has won the race right there. That pit stop was vital. I think Debates and Spinel, they took their pit stops too early. They were figuring on Piskors not being so quick. They came out behind Keziale, who fought them for position, and so they kind of shot themselves in the foot. And we can see that now because they're so far back on Piskors, and they're out of the hunt for this one. So coming out of the snail area, let's have a look at it now. Piskors is coming up behind Keziale, and Robin Kassam is up ahead. A 34.1 by Sander Debates. That's a very fast lap indeed. That's quicker than all the others. That's a new personal best for this race. But let's have a look at this. We've got Kassam, who's leading the way there in the 18. Here he is coming across the line. Then we've got Keziale. Slavek Piskors going to have to fight past Keziale. Now here's Regis Ghoslan. This could be a problem for Slavek Piskors. We don't quite know what he's like fighting. Keziale's got no reason to move out of the way, but she does. Keziale is out of the way and Slavek Piskors moves through. Now, Slavek Piskors is very close to Kassam, though Kassam has yet to pit. So it's a no-brainer that Kassam is going to take himself out of this. In fact, he's probably going to cycle back in fourth, maybe even fifth place, Brad.
Yeah, right now, though, I think the battle that's going to develop is Sander Debates closing into the back of Regis Ghoslan. If Sander can get through past Kezia quite easily, she's going to get blue flag. Yeah, Robin Kassam in, so that means that Slavek resumes his lead. And we've got Regis second. Oh, it's actually an invalid stop for Robin Kassam. He's thrown away whatever position he was in. He's going to have to make another stop.
Oh, what a terrible shame, because clearly Robin was keen to come out ahead of Sam Spinel, so he's forcing the issue. He only just lost that to Spinel, but worse of all, we're thinking he may have to come back in and do it all again. That is really serious, and it's going to throw Kassam right down the order. Kassam does not need this. He was fighting to get into the semi-finals, and this was an important race for him, and you're not going to get in the semi-finals when you pit stopping twice in the same race. As Brad pointed out, the interesting battle is going to be the Sander Debates closing in on Regis Ghoslan. Now, Piskors, he's actually getting caught a bit by Regis Ghoslan, and Debates is catching the pair of them, so this could be very cagey indeed. It's not over for Piskors. He needs to keep that gap. He is sort of matching Ghoslan for speed. They're sort of toing and froing, one slightly quicker, then the other slightly quicker, but it is slight. It's in the hundredths, not even the tenths. So Piskors, he's going to be having a lot of pressure, but it looks like he's holding on.
Yeah, it could go one or two ways. We could have just a nice simple race to the finish where they hold these gaps. Kassam makes hopefully his legitimate stop this time. Or we could have a developing battle where the top three gradually close in on one another. You see quite often, once a kart gets within a certain window, maybe in a slight slipstream, they really do close in and get very close, and then people start fighting and it gets tight right at the end. Let's see, we've still got a few minutes to go, so it's not necessarily over yet.
Yeah, you're reading it right there. Unfortunately, Kassam there we saw taking his pit stop. That is probably what's going to send him out of the competition, to be fair. That's a terrible shame. Robin Kassam, a blundered pit stop, puts him out of the competition, not just out of contention in the race, but he'll be out of the competition. But Slavik Piskor's, as you were saying, Brad, really they're running on their own at the moment. If they end up battling with anybody else, that's when it can come down to it. Obviously, Regis Ghoslan, Sander Debates, tons of experience at indoor karting at the top level and dealing with fighting on track with people. We'll see what Slavik Piskor's can do. At the moment, he's looking good. Yeah,
let's see this lap time. On the last couple of laps, it's been Sander Debates 2/10 quicker. So let's see as they cross the line. And once again, in fact, this time 3/10 quicker than the kart in front. So it's going to be Sander Debates closing in on Regis Ghoslan before the end of this race. That's the fight. It's going to let Slavek get away. I'm pretty sure about that. So I think unless there's a big mistake, Slavek should have this in the bag. This is going to be a race for second position.
Yeah, Sander Debates possibly holds the key here with 5 minutes to go, because here we go, into the corner at the end of the backstretch. There's Slavik Piskor's into the stadium area now. He's the race leader, but there's Regis Ghoslan, and here comes the flying Sander Debates behind him. Now, Debates, not only is he closing in on Ghoslan, he's also closing in on Piskor's. So surely he will be able to look across and see that he's closing in on Piskor's. I think that Debates' real target is race leader Slavik Piskor's. Ghoslan's purely the man in the way.
Yeah, right now though, Sander Debates is just about to start picking up a bit of a toe down the back straight. He knows exactly how to overtake around here. It's just a case of whether Regis gives him an opportunity. We also know how easy it is to defend around here if you know what you're doing. Obviously that's going to mean they're going to just fall away from Slavek if that starts to happen. But I think right now they know it's coming towards the end of the race. I would say both of these guys have given up on first. This is all about who's going to get second position. Right now, tiny gap between them, about half a metre. In the next couple of laps, there could be some fireworks.
Absolutely, and well, if he's got any intention of catching up with Slavik Piskor's, Sander Debates, I think he's got the speed to do it, but he's got Regis Ghoslan in between him, and unless he overtakes Ghoslan immediately, he can forget all about winning. However, there's second place to go for, and he needs the points for that, does Sander Debates, if he's going to get through to that final.
I saw a small gesticulation there from Sander Debates to Regis, whether or not he saw it, saying, work with me, go forward. Whether or not Regis actually believes him or whether he just keeps on defending, we'll see in a moment. But the pair of them are slightly quicker than Slavek. On that last lap, it was actually Sander, the man who was still a tenth faster. I'm looking forward to seeing a move happening soon, unless he does just decide to work with Regis. But only 4 minutes to go.
Absolutely. If Sander's got ideas of working with Regis to try and catch Slavik Piskor's, he doesn't want Regis defending it, and I don't think Regis believes him, to be honest. Regis is saying, I'm not going to work with you, I'm going to just keep battling for my second place. Sander Debates has been closing in on the pair of those leaders, and I don't think Regis is really willing to work with him. He's already given up on Piskor's. Piskor's is right in front of him, but Regis is a bit keener to hold on to second. Even if he worked with Sander Debates, it's not a given. He wouldn't end up third anyway, so I think Ghoslan is going to hang on in there.
They've got a big gap to fourth place, so they've got nothing to lose really from fighting and defending. No, Sam Spinell's not going to catch them before the end of the race unless something big happens. So we're going to see some darting about, toing and froing, lots of defensive lines from kart 14, Regis Ghoslan. Let's just see if Sander Debates can find a way through anywhere.
Absolutely, Brad. He's shown he's faster, and he's actually sometimes running at the back of Laconi. Nothing serious, nothing more than a kart nudge, simply because they're just running so close. And Regis Ghoslan is definitely, I don't want to say holding him up, he's not holding him up, but he is potentially the slower of the two. Well, he's definitely slower of the two. He's costing Debates some time, but Debates realistically is the second place driver, isn't he, Brad, in terms of speed. It's just Ghoslan's holding him back there in third. Yeah,
all Ghoslan really needs to do is just hold a middle kind of line on the approach to some of these corners. It doesn't matter if he's losing lap time, because they're still going to finish either second or third, both of these guys. Nothing's going to happen before the end of the race in terms of where they're both going to finish further back than this. It's just a case of defending, positioning his kart correctly. Sander shouldn't be able to find a way through if Regis does a good job of this.
But they're side by side at the end of the straight there, and it was Debates who was going to the outside. He's really running out of time and running out of angles on Regis Gosselin. He's trying everything possible, putting the Belgian under huge pressure. Gosselin has to soak up. And as Brad said, he's in the middle of the track almost everywhere in terms of the corners, especially the hairpins. Gosselin has got just about the widest cart out there at the moment, Brad. Sander Debates is running out of ideas on where to get past him, but when that lunge comes, it's going to be a hefty one.
Yeah, both of these guys are supremely experienced in indoor kart racing, and Regis, obviously a former Clio Cup champion. They've all been in defending and attacking positions. They know exactly what the other guy's thinking. It's going to be punch and counter punch for the next minute and a half.
Absolutely, cancelling each other out. It's going to take the least little slip. There's a minute to go now between Slavik Piskor's and what's going to be an incredible victory. It's British Championship level. No one's going to enjoy it more than he. I think he's going to be absolutely delirious when he crosses the line and takes that checkered flag. Piskor's has got this one. The second place is dropping away, and just what a performance by Piskor's.
I think Sander Debates is the one that's going to be frustrated here. Slavik's going to cross the line, absolutely ecstatic. He takes the victory, a convincing victory in the end. Regis Gosselin's going to hang on to his second position, and he's actually very pleased with that. He punches the air. I think Sander will be slightly frustrated, but giving a friendly handshake to Gosselin. Fair play at the end. Top three, really well driven. Sam Spinell just a little bit further back, but some damage limitation from him.
But Slavik Piskor's, what a result from him. Incredible to be on pole position and win the race. This has been coming, obviously, we were talking beforehand that maybe he was going to win a race one day, and less than half an hour later, he does it. What an amazing result there. Well, they're all congratulating him. It's not the likeliest of winners, especially given the competition, but he thoroughly deserved every bit of that. Slavik Piskor's absolutely supreme performance there, and he's coming into the pits in third place, but there's no doubt in the winner. That's one happy boy down there, and I think probably one of the most popular wins of the day and the whole weekend. Amazing. Everyone's happy to see Piskor's is one of the popular guys here, and it's showing with that victory there. Brad?
James, can I just remind you that we were talking him completely out? I think our words were something like, Slavik's definitely not going to win this one, but he'll do his best to finish somewhere near the front. Absolutely
right. There's going to be a queue of people trying to get us to talk them out of it as well on that basis. That's happened more than once actually this weekend, Brad. We've done that between us. Anwar, you're back up here with us. Slavik Piskor's taking the win. What do you think?
Yeah, he's been quick all weekend, so it's a good result for him. I think he's going to...
But in fairness, not that quick.
I don't know. He has been quick. I remember last year in one of the heats on the alternate layout, he was very close to me, gave me a very close run race for the win there. So I don't see why he couldn't get a result in that one. Particularly, if you get your quali lap right and you get the right break at the right time, then it all plays into your hands. I mean, ultimately, a couple of the front guys made a mistake pitting early in that race, and certainly that helped him a little bit. And then obviously Regis got a little bit distracted with Sander at the end. So it all played into his hands, and of course he had the pace to finish it off.
Absolutely. I mean, the game was on once he got that pole position, but going in, you'd have to be betting on people like Gosselin, Debates, people like this. In fact, I think they even still believe that themselves, because the early pit stop by Sam Spinell and Sander Debates clearly was because they didn't trust the pace of Piskor's.